Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video series on the Civil Engineering Essentials channel. In this video series, we'll be tackling Autodesk Revit 2027. We are going to focus on the structures, but of course it's going to cover almost everything from the architecture to structure to HVAC and so on. But of course, we're going to focus a little bit on the structural aspects of Autodesk Revit.
And with that being said, and without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Alright, Autodesk Revit is something you might have heard a lot of, which is basically mentioned whenever people mention BIM or BIM, Building Information Modeling. And BIM or BIM is being, of course, gaining popularity as it enables a multidisciplinary work on any structure you have, in which case it allows multiple disciplines, architects, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, all of them to work on the same model, and of course bypasses the nightmare that if the architect changed something in the walls, then the civil engineer doesn't know about it or something. No, this is an integrated model, so if the architect changed anything, it immediately reflects into the civil engineering drawings, and it even allows you to detect conflicts or basically walls entering into columns being misplaced, and so on. Now, of course, this is part of a 7-dimensional modeling. I know people kind of like using those big words. Here in the Civil Engineering Essentials channel, you do know that the philosophy here is to make you smarter, not to sound smarter. So all those 7Ds and 6Ds will be explained in due time. Today is just an introduction about BIM in general and what to expect in this video series. Now, BIM stands for Building Information Modeling. I hope you heard that before. It's basically a collaborative digital process used in architecture, engineering, and construction together. Why do we do that? Because we want to create detailed models of buildings, and by models, I really do mean models. I know that most of you have drawn in AutoCAD like this. This is, for example, a drawing taken from this building. You can notice that on the first glance, you would think this is AutoCAD, but no. Revit is different from AutoCAD, in which every line of those is not just a simple line like in AutoCAD, but actually a walking, talking entity. If you click, for example, on the wall here, it gets highlighted, but it's not just two lines on the wall. No, the wall actually has a ton of properties, and those properties are what make BIM actually possible. Meaning that those lines are not just lines, they are entities in the database, and if we have those entities in the database, we can actually do a lot of cool things with them. For example, we could do quantity surveying, because this wall here is a concrete wall, obviously, but this wall here could be a brick wall, and that wall here, that I section here seems to be a column. So having those elements with their underlying data enables all kinds of cool stuff to be done later. So of course we're going to be talking about this in future videos, but just to mention here, why should we even care about BIM? We do care about BIM because it's an information-rich object. I mean, unlike AutoCAD, where those are just 2D lines, in BIM, those actually are entities, as I said, that have properties behind them. A door that you could draw in one of the walls is not just some trim lines and some elements, but it's actually an entity that is made out of wood, for example, and has a certain standard height and standard width. So basically, every line of those more know than the average AutoCAD line, and enables you to do manufacturing costs and scheduling and quantity surveying much easier. The other reason why we use BIM is because it's kind of a single source of truth, as they say. And what I mean about single source of truth here is that all people are able to work on the model at the same time without conflict. What I'm saying here is that this is built for teams, where the architect can do his stuff on the BIM model, and then the civil engineer can actually modify stuff based on the architect. And instead of, I have worked in a lot of companies, I'm pretty sure you have worked too. Usually you have those team meetings where the architect needs to show his architectural drawing to the structural engineer, and then there is a lot of discussions, and usually the architect never sends the final drawing to the civil engineer, which means that when the final drawing is finally there from the architect, well, guess what? After 5 days, the owner comes, changes some rooms, and then we have to go back to the scratch board all over again. Architectural drawings could change slightly, and the civil engineer doesn't know anything about it. With a BIM, any change in the architectural drawing reflects immediately to the civil engineer. He can see it directly, and even conflicts could be highlighted. This is not only civil and architect. You have all kinds of disciplines working in buildings. You have, of course, the electrical engineers and the MEP engineers and the HVAC and all this kind of cool stuff that needs to be linked together, because changing one thing in one drawing could affect all the other drawings. That's the reason why BIM has gained traction and popularity. Another reason why we should learn Revit is actually part of the Civil Engineering Essentials channel. We do have our extensive robot course, and Revit and Robot are very good at talking to each other, since they are both Autodesk products. And I'll be talking about how to shift and import and export stuff from there and here soon. Another concept of BIM is that it enables 7D structures. Now this sounds cool, but let me just explain this very simple. In 3D, you usually have, well, in 2D, you usually have a two-dimensional drawing. In 3D is something you should know. It's basically the 3D drawing like this. The fourth dimension is usually with time, and what I mean by this is basically construction sequencing in time. What is built first, what is built second. 5D, people call it for cost estimation, basically the money, and after that everything becomes fancy schmancy, because, for example, 6D, some people call it sustainability analysis, and 7D is basically the ongoing operation if it's a facility. All those are cool concepts that are only enabled because your line is no longer a line. Your line is a walking, talking entity that knows its material, knows its quantity, and knows its step in the construction process. Of course, here, the reason why we should focus on BIM is because it enables automated clash detection. Well, if you open basically a hole in the structure, it could conflict with a truss, and then, of course, you need to redraw the entire truss. It improves collaboration because all people work on the same file, and even allows for basically management of the entire building. In this course, we are going to be dealing with the structural aspects of Revit, and we're going to talk a little bit about the architecture, the HVAC, and so on. And finally, we're going to cover the management, the senior level, like how a senior engineer should be using Revit in his office. As I said, let me show you some aspects of Revit. Of course, this is a sample files. We're going to be starting with the file from scratch. But for now, for the sample file, I mean, look at this. It's just beautiful. This is the database on the right side. I like to call it the database. I know it's called the project browser. I like to call it database because indeed it is a database. And you can see there are 3D views in the database. There are building elevations from the side, from the left, from the south, the typical 4 elevations that you have for a building. And that's the cool thing. You no longer need to draw the elevations by hand. All you have to do is to model the building correctly, and the elevations will come automatically. Let me just double click on it. It's kind of generating stuff. So you can see that this is the building from the side, of course, with its architectural stuff. And I think it's kind of fighting. Yeah, there we go. This is the building. You can see all the elements of that building. There's a ton of lines, but you can see the building's architecture and structure go hand in hand. And that's what we mean. Of course, this is too much information. And in the presentation of the drawings, we should be filtering out the drawings we want. In the sheets here, for example, there are some drawings from the sample. And you can see that those sample files show you the foundation plan. You can see it here. And this is stuff we take a ton of time to draw. And actually, I'm thinking to make an AutoCAD tutorial on the Civil Engineering Essentials channel just to show the difference between Revit and AutoCAD. I think it's a nice idea to have 2 tutorials go side by side. The idea here is that those sheets are generated from the 3D model. And the cool thing is, if you change anything in any line here, it reflects everywhere. And that's a nightmare avoided. Of course, the downside is that it might take a little bit of getting used to and a little bit more effort, but the return on investment, if I want to call it, is amazing. I mean, look here, there's schedules, quantities. If you click on that, for example, you can see that there's an index sheet. For example, here, if you click on structural foundation schedule, it will do some loading, and then you get basically not a bill of quantities. At least you have some information here. You can go, for example, the connection schedule. This is, I think, the steel connections, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there we go. You have the base plates, how many things you have. So many details are available because, as I said, the key is that this line is not a line. This line is a walking, talking entity. And in this video series, We're going to be dealing with all kinds of entities, and step by step, I will make you become Revit pros. So I hope that you enjoyed this quick introduction. I know I did. And look forward for more videos coming soon, at least on a weekly basis, from the Civil Engineering Essentials channel. Once again, an apology for not being active due to work-related reasons, but now we have the summer break, so I have time to do some cool tutorials, and tutorials we shall do. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and before I finish, I want to give a Revit-sized shout-out to my dear channel members for their support to the channel. I really do appreciate it, and in this video I want to give a double shout-out. The reason behind the double shout-out is because they were patient with me, even with me being absent or even in a hiatus. I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for being so supportive, and you can look forward for more videos very soon. I'm gonna have a weekly posting schedule of videos. With that being said, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. This is the Civil Engineering Essentials channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.